Tonight on The Big Story, Vice President Sara Duterte is a respondent in two courts today. At the impeachment trial, her confidential funds are still the topic. And at the Quezon City RTC, there's a complaint of grave threats against her. In the wake of the massive inundation of several Metro Manila areas and Luzon provinces, President Marcos rates his government's flood control effort effective, but needs work. It's not always a rainbow coming after the rain. In Baclaran, it could be tons of trash washing ashore after days of heavy downpour. And the proposed budget for 2027 is now with lawmakers. Which departments are getting the lion's share? Good evening, I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. We begin with another COA auditor seeing red flags in Vice President Sara Duterte's confidential funds. Sailin Del Campo gave the impeachment court a rundown of prohibited and questionable releases, which the prosecution witness believes had the green light from the VP herself. The big story tonight from mobile journalist Arles de los Santos.
Christmas events, tree planting, gift giving, medical missions, and youth campaigns. These are just some of more than 100 activities of the Office of the Vice President from December 13 to 31, 2022 that were paid for by confidential funds or CF. But these do not fall under CF activities and should not have been given allocations in the first place. State Auditor Sailin Del Campo made this clear, citing a Commission on Audit Joint Circular on how confidential funds should be used. It was Del Campo who took the place of COA Auditor Attorney Roderick Wamil in auditing the secret budget of the OVP and the Education Department when both were under Vice President Sara Duterte. Wamil was transferred to COA's Pasay office. On day 14 of the trial, Tuesday, August 11, Private Prosecutor Lorna Capunan had each of Sara's sponsored activity read out, or at least those supposedly paid for by her confidential funds.
In 2022, Christmas activity in Happy Land, Tondo, Manila. Christmas activity and exploration meeting of Extension Office Barangay 101 in Tondo, Manila. Consultation with Barangay Chairman ng Manila in Manila. Pasasalamat and update meeting TODA in Barangay Batasan Hills, Quezon City. Mga tree planting po, distribution of wheelchairs, gift giving, medical mission, at iba pong activities ng mga satellite offices po ng Office of the Vice President.
Tree planting, napakadaming Christmas party, napakadaming award ceremony. Yan ba ay pinapayagan sa sinabi mong definition ng confidential funds?
Hindi po.
Hindi po.
Another inconsistency found by Del Campo was that some of the activities were held from December 15 to 18, 2022. But the check for 125 million pesos in confidential funds was only disbursed or encash on December 21, 2022.
Labas doon. Labas doon. So hindi posibleng gamitin yung perang na-release ng 21 para i-reimburse yun, kung tama man yung pinagastusan.
Yes po, kasi under the joint circular po, meron pong portion doon na hindi po pwedeng gamitin for reimbursement yung pondo.
Another item flagged by COA was the OVP's alleged use of confidential funds for the purchase of tables, chairs, desktop computers, printers, medical, and food aid. This amounted to 73 million pesos, 287,000 pesos. COA issued a notice of disallowance for this and ordered the return of the amount spent.
Hindi po kasi nila in-specify na the payments for yung tables and chairs and desktop computers were used for confidential operations po. Wala po silang nasubmit na any explanation dun sa response po nila. Pumapatunayan nila na ito ay binili para po sa confidential operations ng ahensya.
At anong kailangan na dokumento?
And since this pertains po sa as purchases, dapat po supported ito ng either sales invoice or official receipts po.
Capunan then asked,
Sino-sino ang mga persons na responsible or accountable dyan sa pinakita mo?
Ang mga persons po na liable or responsible is first po the head of agency, Vice President Sara Duterte, the Special Disbursing Officer, si Ms. Gina Acosta, at ang Chief Accountant po na si Ms. Julieta Villa del Rey.
Bakit sila accountable?
Unang-una po, yung si Vice President Sara Duterte po, siya po ang nag-approve ng transaction and including the utilization of the cash advance.
Just last week, prosecution witness and co-auditor Roderick Wamil and Senator Judge Amy Marcos clash over who holds direct accountability for confidential fund expenditures under Joint Circular 2015-01. Senator Marcos argued that the Special Disbursing Officer or SDO, not Vice President Sara Duterte, was the primary accountable officer. Wamil disagreed, stating that the agency head is also responsible for approving and overseeing utilization. The suspicious names that received confidential funds were also discussed in Tuesday's hearing, and more unusual names came up based on the receipts presented for the purchase of supplies and information. Several individuals, such as Pia Piatos Lim and Ralph Josh Bacon, were paid using confidential funds. There were also recipients with the same surnames or names as senators and their spouses, such as Ann Ong Pauco, Hart Santiago, Clarice Ontiveros, Jose Diokno Jr., Dayan Maple Lapid, John Lapid, Denise Tanya Escudero, and Christine Applegate Estrada.
Pag-anak naman to ni Senator Risa Ontiveros. Clarice Ontiveros,
500,000 for the purchase or rental of supplies, materials, and equipment for confidential operations, open and close parentheses, purchase of provision of medical and food aid.
at again, disallowed ito.
Kasama po ito dun sa na-disallow po.
Ito naman, 1-8, P-1-8-994. Kamag-anak naman ni Senator Lapid. Diane Maple Lapid na tumanggap ng 150,000 pesos na bumili daw ng supplies.
Na pinambili po ng supplies at medical and food aid.
Nag-submit ba ang Office of the Vice President para patunayan talaga na itong medical, grocery, etc. tables talagang ginamit sa confidential funds?
Wala pa po silang naging action after ma-receive nila ito.
Del Campo was also the one who evaluated the OVP's confidential funds up to the third quarter of 2023. This was where acknowledgement receipts signed by people whose names sounded like food were found. Names such as Beverly Claire Pampano, Matthew N. Queso, Jay Camote, and Miggy Mango. In the end, because of the violations found by COA, a notice of disallowance amounting to 375 million pesos was also issued. This is the total amount of the OVP's confidential funds for the 3 quarters of 2023. Kapatid Arles de los Santos, we are One News.
Meantime, the Justice Department has filed a criminal case against Vice President Sara Duterte. That's for alleged threats the VP made against President Bongbong Marcos, his wife Lisa, and his cousin, former Speaker Martin Romualdez. DOJ spokesman Polo Martinez said the complaint was filed this afternoon before the office of the Clerk of Court of the Quezon City RTC. This is the same complaint previously handled by the National Bureau of Investigation. Recall that in November 2024, Duterte told an online press conference that she sought an assassin for Marcos, the First Lady, and Romualdez if she is killed first. In a statement, the Vice President's legal counsel said he has anticipated the new charge, expressing confidence that it, quote, will ultimately be dismissed. Lawyer Paul Lawrence Lim maintained that as a sitting VP, his client cannot be prosecuted for the offense, which also happens to be one of the subjects of the impeachment proceedings against her. And joining us tonight to discuss these developments is Attorney Antonio Ligon. He is a former National Executive Director of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. Attorney Ligon also served as assisting counsel to the prosecutors for the impeachment trial of former President Joseph Estrada. He is also a CPA. So, two hats in one. Welcome to the big story, attorney.
Thank you for
And,
having me, Mrs.
oh, long
Always a
time no
pleasure.
see.
Yeah.
I remember chasing you nung bata-bata pa ako as a reporter.
Pareho tayo ng bata.
Firstly, the case just filed against the VP
Yeah.
after 2 years. Why?
Well, I'm not surprised because the evidence required in a criminal case is beyond reasonable doubt. Hindi naman ito katulad ng impeachment na you need that beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay.
And easily, kapag ka mahina ang kaso mo criminal case, madi-dismiss. And probably, I can surmise the reason they don't want the case to be dismissed right away. And besides, they have to study that he's a sitting vice president. And although, of course, there's no immunity from suit,
Yeah.
unlike the president.
So the lawyer for VP Sara is mistaken.
I would say so because you can sue the vice president. Walang immunity ang vice president, only the president.
So this is what? Lahat na ng bala linalabas ng administrasyon laban sa kay VP Sara, ganun ba? Or can we surmise that they may have new evidence?
Well, sa akin, yung pag-file ng criminal case, expected yan eh. Because if you have a strong evidence against the act, no? The first thing that you should do is criminal case. But siyempre, ang criminal case will not remove you from office, only impeachment.
Okay. Now let's go to today's impeachment trial hearing. Of all the irregularities that were presented, which was the most glaring for you as a lawyer and an accountant?
Well, for one, no, yung acknowledgement receipt, very weak yun. And then second, disbursing it at one date but several locations. Kaya very effective, I would say, yung paggamit ng term na Superman, that when you need to be a Superman to be able to disburse those funds in different location at one day, no? So, yun, that captures everything. And I'm listening, talagang incredible. Dapat yun lang una, yung sa names. And then hindi lang isolated incident eh. Kung one day lang nangyari, very easy to justify na, nagkamali nung day na yan, no?
Parang may
But
pattern.
May pattern and repetitive yung pag-disburse ng ganong kalalaking halaga na questionable, dubious yung amount. Dun sa acknowledgement receipt, parang bumili ka sa palengke. Wala namang mga resibo dun eh. Sasabihin mo lang sa tindera, pirmahan nyo ito, pirmahan nyo ito. Okay yun, sa isang palengke ka pupunta. But that disbursement includes several places na magkakalayo. And walang supporting document na, hey, the special disbursement officer authorized this person to pay off this person.
Sana
Wala.
may ganon.
Sana
pwede.
may ganon. Kaya very
Pero
good
for
yung
rewards,
question.
tanggap nila eh. For rewards, parang for information received.
Yeah.
Okay sa kanila. Ang hindi nila tanggap is yung merong supplies, medicine man or food aid, na syempre bibili ka, di ba?
Another glaring there, yeah, yung saan mo gagamitin ang confidential fund for Christmas party, for other stuff na paano magiging confidential those activity. And not only that, no, the prosecution were able to show that even with the disbursement itself, no, you have the name and then sometimes walang complete name. Hindi naman thousands of pesos yan, several thousands, no?
yeah.
And
Huge
even millions,
amounts.
huge amount. And then biglang surname na lang and then may pirma. And then yung identification ng tao, do they really exist? That's why interesting ang magiging defense dun sa bagay na yan.
What do you anticipate? Kasi you've been an accountant at a top accounting firm. Paano yan pagtatakpan?
Kaya nga kung gagawa ka ng gano'n, ang description before the show nga, sabi natin, very sloppy yung pagkagawa. Imagine the choice of name. Kahit na an ordinary thinking Filipino, may ganun bang taong pangalan? Na parang may pattern na, sabi nga, nag-joke na parang salad yung gagawin.
Fruit
May
salad.
mango,
May
may
kamote.
And,
Keso.
yun, ano, una, okay, even if you prove na these persons exist, how will they prove na they actually receive it? Halimbawa, may item doon na purchase of information. Naalala ko, well, sa mga Hollywood movies or even in our movies, madidinig mo yung pag yung police gustong may malaman, bibigay ng few thousands o few
Or in the
hundreds.
military, they would.
Yeah, pero yung purchase
pay.
of information of several thousands, hindi basta ganun yun. You will have to, show a proof, no? And
At
then
saka yung walang evidence of success.
alright.
Yun yung
Oo,
isang-
ano yung source ng threat, paano na-resolve yun, and then purchase of supplies. Okay, maraming mga liquidation na unexplained. Pero anong klaseng supplies yan? Plus, yung sinasabi na meron kang, and then you have this information and then suddenly biglang success, no? What's the connection?
Yeah.
Hindi maintindihan yan. So they have to explain. And then yung acknowledgement receipt, basically sa audit, pag acknowledgement receipt lang, at least may affidavit na, we were able to pay but we were not issued the official receipt. That's why they just acknowledge. So may real person.
So you go through that effort.
Yes, and then yung sinasabi mong may rental, may tax issue dyan eh. Pag nag-more than 10,000 ang rental, may VAT na yan. Nasaan yung resibo? Wala din, no? Di ba? So, kung tutuusin, medyo mababaw nga yung ng COA. In other words, pinakita lang yun. They did not go into the details
They
talaga.
did not do field inspection. They
Yes.
did not call. But do you do that with confidential and intelligence funds? What if you're assuming na assumed name yon?
Oo.
Let's just say, because they want to protect the identity of the person, although hindi nakalagay yun sa joint circular,
Yeah.
na allowed.
Basically, ang explanation dyan, if you're a COA auditor, hindi ka naman nagpe-presume kagad na misappropriate o misdirected ang pera.
Okay.
Being the highest official, one of the highest official of the land, presumption of regularity.
Okay.
You'll be in bad faith if you work in COA kung iisipin mo kagad, ay, nagnanakaw ito. So, in fact, I give credit to the witness na very clear yung pagsagot niya, kaya dinisallow kasi may violation dun mismo sa circular. But if you ask a basic question, wala na yung circular, hindi mo nabasa. Ang tanong mo, may problema ba pag ginastos mo yung pera sa isang araw na sunod-sunod? Hindi mo nga alam anong oras ni-release yan, no? And then yung names, fictitious.
Sunod-sunod sa isang araw at ang lalayo, iba-ibang lugar.
Correct. And hindi lang naman one time yan. Kasi kung one time, sasabihin mo, ay, that day, talagang masyadong maraming ginawa, hindi na nakita yung proper measure to correct it. But February 22, 25, and then December, merong several transaction. Kaya, ang tingin ko nag-connect sa audience, which I give credit to the prosecution, although nag-object yung the defense, no, na speculative. Kasi siyempre ginagamit mo yung mga ganun, Superman, no. But biglang papasok si Superman, pwedeng gumawa na mag-disburse ka sa Malolos, sa
So give
Mindanao.
credit to Attorney Lorna Capuna.
I give credit because she was able to connect to non-ordinary people how to understand this. Napaka-imposibleng magawa yun ng ordinaryong tao. And beside, walang dokumentong sinabi na we will disburse this amount to several places because we delegated the power. Bawal nga eh. Kaya
Bawal.
hindi mo, oo.
But also, there is a credit notice. Let's naman also recognize that at least there were 2 quarters in the DepEd that they passed.
Yeah. Again, ang explanation din dyan, it's not surprising kasi nga, you always presume regularity when it's an official of the government who will conduct those action. And take note, that's not conclusive kasi pwedeng mabawi yan after ma-discover that within 3 years, meron palang anomaly. So,
Meron na nga kasi di ba, inassign din dun sa security officer
yes,
ng special disbursement.
which is not one of those authorized, no? And yun lang very clear and glaring. In fact, nagiging na-educate tayo na, meron palang circular na gano'n, na named person lang ang dapat maging special disbursing officer, even if you're the highest officer of that office. So,
So, okay, let's now connect it because this article, misuse of COA funds, the charge is that there was culpable violation of the Constitution and betrayal of public trust. Is there sufficient basis now for...
well, if you
concluding
listen
that?
very well, and if you look at it, and if people will understand that the money they're talking about is your money, and it's being spent, I will use our term, walang habas, walang pakundangan, walang respeto, na ganun-ganun mo gastusin yung perang pinaghirapan ko na binabayad ko sa gobyerno in the form of taxes. So dapat mayroong indignation eh. And understandably, ang ordinary Pilipino will not be able to connect unless maintindihan nila na ikaw ang ninanakawan. Hindi ang gobyerno lang ng Pilipinas, kundi ikaw.
Tayong nagbabayad ng buwis.
Yes, at hindi natin sinasabing ninanakaw ng Vice President. Ang sinasabi natin, hindi iniingatan yung pondo na
May
galing
pagkawaldas.
sa atin. Yun. Habas.
Kunyari, walang habas.
Walang habas. Yun ang term ko na na paglapastangan sa pera ng bayan.
Yung sloppy, no? Parang ano ba? Kung hindi nyo, kung magnakaw man kayo, hindi nyo ba pwedeng gandahan naman ang kwento?
Meron niya ako nabasa, sabi niya gusto niyang mamit kung sino gumawa ng mga pangalan na yun. Very creative in the sense na parang mga related no? Si
Creative.
Bacon. Hindi, may magkakasama. Si Bacon, si Kamote.
Baka kumakain sila. But
yeah.
what is it? Is it because medyo mahina sila, mahina ang pag-iisip, o arrogance?
Sa akin, parang more on
Hubris.
arrogance eh. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Kasi kung may respeto ka talaga sa pera ng Pilipino at gusto mong pakialaman yan, medyo pag-iisipan mo namang mabuti. Para naman maging may respeto kahit na nagnanakaw o dinadivert mo. Meron pa ring respeto. Wala eh.
Okay, sabihin na, let's just say, wala namang proof kasi na nagnakaw or ginamit for personal benefit, no?
Yeah.
But that's yun na yung presumption eh.
Yeah.
Diba? If you're given a disallowance.
Yes.
But if you divert, that is already also a violation.
Yes.
Parang yung ginawa ko nyari, galit na galit, diba sa Supreme Court, yung pag-divert ng PhilHealth funds.
Correct.
That was already a violation. So ganito din, yung ginamit namin ang confidential funds to make sure na sa events niya secure siya.
Oh.
Is that, di ba?
Whether it's
Pasado ba
confidential, whether it whatever you call it, as long as it is upon coming from the public, you should handle it with trust. And the Constitution, in fact, requires that every peso or centavo spent, there should be a law. Kaya yung misappropriation, yung diverting it, hindi justification na, hindi ko naman ninakaw yan eh. Nilagay ko lang. Remember,
Ginamit ko sa ibang
it
gamit at sa
doesn't,
bagay.
a local government official, hindi niya pwede sabihin, ay nakasave ako, kaya pinamigay ko na lang yung nasave ko. Hindi, pera ng taong bayan yan. There must be a law to appropriate it. And yung siyempre, yung mga iba na on the defense, sasabihin, wala namang ebidensyang kinuha niya yun, nakinabang siya. That's not the point. The point is, this is the people's money, and you should spend it appropriately in a way that,
Wisely. That it was intended
for the use. Oo. So, kahit na sino, tatanungin mo, paano magiging confidential yung paggamit mo dun sa purchase of supplies or you attend this or yung
TODA, namigay ng funds sa TODA.
Yeah.
Plus, those were not even dates covered.
Yes.
But I'd also like to point out, kasi, di ba, yung cheque na yun came from the National Treasury, and yung date lang talaga na pwede mong gastusin yun ay December 21 to 31. Bakit rin naman kaya binigyan ng leeway na ganyang kalaking pera? What should a public official do if you were really thinking of the public good?
Well,
Isoli mo, di
Oo,
ba? Yung hindi mo
oo.
nagamit.
ang ano dyan is, yung basic ano dyan sa values natin eh. Ako, I still remember yung sinabi sa akin ng parents ko. Pag pera mo yan, ingatan mo. Pero pag hindi mo pera, mas doble ingat. Kasi hindi sa iyo yan. So in the same way, kaya yung mga loan natin, di ba? Nagtatrabaho ka sa bangko, yung degree of diligence yan, extraordinary. Yung kung nagmamaneho ka ng pampasaherong bus o jeepney, mas mataas yung hinihingi sa'yo. Now, if you're a public officer holding that big amount of funds, eh sobrang diligence, extra care ang gagawin mo.
You know, hanga ako, bawa ko sa mga mid-level government officials who have appeared as witnesses. You can see yung dedication nila sa trabaho and they know what they're doing.
And they're not being threatened by those asking them questions,
Yeah.
no? Kung
If
medyo...
only our higher officials exhibited the
Yeah.
same diligence, dedication, humility.
Yes, yes. That's why yung faith mo, ako I would say na our faith in the Filipino people is still there. Kasi yung the likes of these witnesses na their government employees receiving salary, not even 1/3 of this government official receiving, yet
And-
they serve well. No?
And yung pinamigay na reward money na ang lalaki, 400,000, 250, eh kita na nila yun ng...
Yeah, halos.
I mean,
yeah.
hindi nila makikita yun in 1 month of
correct.
slaving away
Yeah.
in COA or NBI.
Yeah, and it's not easy to go against the tide, no, or against the pressure din. No? Siyempre, alam naman natin kahit COA, may mga natetempt na, I will side with this person.
Okay.
No? Pero sila, they
May
stood up.
corruption din dyan.
Yes, of course. Marami na ring news na ganyan. But etong mga example na that, you know, it shows that we can still trust those who work in the government.
Mahihirapan ba ang defense when it comes to their turn to present evidence?
I would describe it interesting ang gagawin nilang defense. Kasi, sabi mo nga, as an accountant and as a lawyer, kung ako yung question dun sa ano, hindi ko na mapapaliwanag bakit acknowledgement receipt lang eh. Napaka-weak no acknowledgement receipt because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can sign an acknowledgement receipt. And that person, sino yung nag-sign na yan? So,
They have
marami
to
kayo
produce.
i-establish.
Si Andy Lim, kailangan nilang dalin doon.
Dalin yun, oo.
Sino ba anong pangalan nun? Hindi ko na
Si Miggy Mango, di ba?
kailangan nilang dalhin.
Si Piatos, Mary Grace Piatos. Tapos
At
may
saka
isa
si
pang...
Pia Piatos.
Oo. So
Nakamag-anak
parang
marami.
very...
Sister-in-law ba?
Oo. May mga gano'n, no? At saka si Hart Santiago, no? And may nag-comment nga, remember
Bakit
si...
may wala bang Heart Santiago? Baka naman meron.
Baka may kapangalan. Kasi remember parang ang nag-ano kay Hart Evangelista at saka kay Cheese Escudero. Si
Ay, si
Miriam
Miriam
Defensor
Defensor
Santiago.
Santiago.
Siguro creative sa... May nagsabi So, creative on the lighter side, no? So, on the lighter side, pinapatawa ka sa anomaly na to. But at the same time, nalulungkot ka kasi wala talagang respeto sa taong bayan na basta maisip mo na lang, ganun, di ba?
Paano po yung indignation, hindi nyo makikita yan sa mga masugid na tagasunod ng mga Duterte? You will not see, they
Okay.
will defend this. Or they do not see anything wrong.
I think ang malungkot talaga, we're a divided nation. No? May mga grupo na talagang whatever you present to them, they will just choose yung
Kung anong paniniwalaan
kung anong
nila.
paniniwalaan. And whatever evidence na glaring na, wala pa rin yan. They will always come up with a justification.
Pero that must be
Political ano lang yan.
30 to 40% of the population, maybe?
Cannot say the actual number, no. But ang maganda rito, you know, you discuss this in public, natututuhan ng mga tao. It's a learning experience din, no. Kasi nung impeachment trial ni former president, di naman natapos yan eh, di ba? Nag-walk out. And very Hindi naging ganun yung proseso. May nagtanong nga sa akin the other station. Ang difference nun, only the congressman will present and talk. Yung mga assisting counsel, taga-advise, taga-ano lang. Eh dito, talaga naging courtroom eh. Which is also a downside kasi paano ma-appreciate ng mga tao yung ganyang procedure?
Na mga very lawyerly.
Yes, oo. At saka every step of the way, ino-object kan. Yun lang dapat mag-agree na, ito na yung mga ebidensya, huwag na tayo magtalo. No?
The tactic of the defense before the hearing even began, na ayaw nilang mag-stipulate talaga. Ayaw nila. And anong bang sinabi? Ginost ang prosecution ng defense. Was that really an act of bad faith? Ano ba yung strategy ba yan? But why are they so afraid of stipulating and agreeing to, for instance, to this acknowledgement receipts? Ayaw nila, no?
Sa akin, as a practicing lawyer, on an objective basis, yung defense will really is expected to do that. Because if you're on the defense, less stipulation, less mistake. Because ang objective mo dyan, prove mo. Every step of the way, i-object kita. But I will not make it easy for you.
Lorna said here, there is a burden also on the defense. It's not
well, now
solely.
it is shifted on them. Itong ginawa niya, itong prosecution, yung onus of the evidence now, yung pag-prove, nasa defense na. Una, pakita mo, totoong may ganyan, natanggap talaga, at posible talaga na i-disburse yung ganong kalaking halaga sa isang araw. Yun ang ipoprove nila.
So
Kapag-
mahirapan sila.
I
May
would
Superman
say,
silang kailangan
Very
i-produce.
interesting, yeah. Very interesting. And I'll really, let's look
What,
forward to how.
Attorney Ligon, hindi ba ayaw rin ng defense ito eh. Sana per article, both prosecution and defense present per article so
Yeah.
that na fresh pa sa mind ng publiko.
Yes, oo.
Pero it's the defense that doesn't want this kind of procedure. Gusto nila prosecution present all the articles and then it will be the turn of the defense.
Well, ayokong maggawa ng any judgment on their strategy or what, no, as a respect to brothers or sisters in profession. Pero for them, no, nakikita nila mas advantageous na mas mahaba, mas madaling makakalimutan. Remember, this impeachment trial is not just a court proceeding. It's a political proceeding. And you're not just convincing the senator judges, you're convincing the Filipino public.
Yes.
And I think, yung pagdesisyon ng senador, depende sa magiging perception din ng public.
Okay. So gusto nila mawala ng interes ang publiko.
Kaya ganung mga technical.
So,
Oo.
Talagang ganon? You
Well,
think so?
I would say one of the strategy.
So how can, let's say you're the presiding officer, how can you hasten the proceedings and also lessen the technicalities? My final question, Attorney Ligon.
Objectively, Senate Presiding Officer Chis Escudero is doing well. No? And sa akin, to hasten, if you will ask me, you tell the lawyers, hey, just agree on this. Just like a judge, you know. They will call the parties, ba't hindi pag-usapan na lang ito? Ano bang dito? So, but he's given so much leeway to both the parties, no? Ila-allow niya prosecution, ila-allow niya. Well, he's also, he's a politician. He's also playing with the gallery. I would say, no, na hindi, very strictly pwede mo sabihin sa mga judges, unlike no impeachment trial ni Joseph Estrada, the Senate, the presiding officer is Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And I understand, he really studied very well the procedure kasi si Chief Justice Davide is not a known practitioner. But he studied very well, he did very well, kaya naging ganun yung proceeding. Si Senate Presiding Officer Escudero is doing well, no? It's just that sa sobrang
Balanse. Gusto niya maging balanse.
Umahaba.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your
It's my
insights.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
That was former IBP National Executive Director Antonio Ligon. You are watching the big story on One News. Parañaque residents woke up to this. Where did these tons of trash come from? This and other stories when we return. Stay tuned.
Parang tumangkad ka, Lorna.
Oo nga po. Parang binigyan ako ng apple box dito.
Wala namang baha.
Na-Indian po kami. We made a text message. Wala pong sagot nung Wednesday. On Thursday, we waited the whole day.
We don't even need to compare the exhibit.
Chair, would just like to correct, hindi ka Attorney Lorna Ininjan, baka ginost ka?
Inignore.
Ghost na nga eh. Ghost
Ginost,
bago ngayon.
ginost.
There's Presiding Officer Chis Escudero and Prosecution Counsel Lorna Kapunan at the earlier part of today's impeachment trial. These light exchanges are what observers believe keep the public interested in the proceedings that often get too technical. President Bongbong Marcos believes flooding in some areas was not as severe as before, but acknowledged that more work is needed to address the problem. Marcos led an inspection in Las Piñas City earlier in the day, where he cited the resumption of dredging operations after a 12-year moratorium. The halt, he said, had made rivers and spillways more shallow.
Hindi ganun kalala ang pagbaba, medyo nabawasan. Dati hanggang dibdib umaabot. Ngayon wala pa, hindi na hanggang kulang pa sa tuhod ang baha. So effective naman ang ating ginagawa. Ngunit alam naman natin kulang pa rin yan. Marami pa rin tayong kailangan gawin.
Mr. Marcos also pointed to large volumes of garbage from neighboring areas that continue to overwhelm Metro Manila's drainage canals. He said this can aggravate flooding during high tide, including areas like Parañaque City. That said, here is the Chief Executive's message to local governments and the public.
Nananawagan kami sa lahat ng involved, ang ating mga local government unit, ang ating lahat ng mamamayang Pilipino. Mag-ingat po kayo dahil ang laking pinsala ang nangyayari kapag yung basura natin ay hindi maganda ang pagtapon at kung saan na lang nilalagay.
A state of calamity has been declared in Kalumpit, Bulacan, where flooding has reached up to 6 feet deep. This was after the Pampanga River overflowed. All 29 barangays in the town are still wading in water. The flooding is also aggravated by high tide. For now, residents could only hope for long-term solutions.
Kung naayos man lang sana pagkakagawa, hindi nakurakot yung sistema, maganda sana pagkakagawa niya. At siguro hindi kami lubog sa baha ngayon. Sana makonsensya naman sila. Yun na lang masasabi ko. Kasi hindi naman sila yung tinatamaan ng sistemang ginawa nila eh. Kaming mga mahihirap na dito.
Ay sana parusahan sila ng Panginoon Diyos. At ginanya nila, hindi naman 2-3 tao lang. Katakot-takot na tao ang naperhisyo. Yung perang ninakaw ninyo, lagay ninyo sa dapat kalagyan ng mga taong naghihirap. Oo, kawawa kami.
Elsewhere in Bulacan, there was massive flooding from habagat rains over the weekend. The province has over 600 flood control projects, several of which were flagged as faulty or even non-existent. Barangay officials in Kalumpit said a riprap was supposed to be built in their area to mitigate the perennial flooding.
Hanap po sila ng proyekto, may dala-dala po silang list. Tapos po nang hinahanap sa akin, wala naman po akong makipakita. Kung nagawa po siguro ng maayos yun, baka kahit pa paano nalimitahan yung bahang ganito or kahit na high tide lang. Ngayon po high tide lang, tingnan nyo po yung dinaranas ng nandito.
Meantime, cleanup continues over a literal sea of trash in Parañaque. To be exact, it's the Redemptorist Water Canal in Barangay Baclaran that's keeping personnel of the City Environment Unit and the MMDA very busy. The team had to use floating backhoe and loaders to speed up the clearing operation. There's also manual labor, men diving and swimming across the filthy water to push tons of garbage to shore.
Marami natusok, mga bubog, tapos mga patay na hayop. Sobrang hirap po.
May takot ba kayo sa health nyo? Baka magkaroon kayo?
Hindi, may mga turok naman po kami sa health po ng Parañaque. Bago po kami lumusod dyan, may mga injection po kami.
Sapat na yun, palagay mo.
Sapat na po siguro pansuporta lang, pansamantala.
In all, today's cleanup operation filled up 45 huge trucks, but the high tide is causing more rubbish to be swept toward the area. One reason for the buildup, the MMDA's trash trap can no longer accommodate the garbage following dredging operations.
Pinapakita lang talaga na grabe na talaga ang sitwasyon ng basura natin. Talagang ako, sasabihin ko na garbage crisis na talaga to. Na yung basura talaga is one major factor sa pagkaklag ng mga waterways natin. Kailangan tuldukan na natin to once and for all. Hindi na pwede itong dekada na itong ganito eh.
This is a big story in One News. The Marcos administration is promising a corrupt-free budget next year, especially for flood control projects. The safeguards it has put in place when we return.
Christmas activity in consultation with barangay chairman, pasasalamat and update meeting, TODA. May mga tree planting po, distribution of wheelchairs, gift giving, medical mission, at iba pong activities ng mga satellite offices po ng Office of the Vice President.
Tree planting, Christmas, napakadaming Christmas party, napakadaming award ceremony. Yan ba ay pinapayagan sa sinabi mong definition ng confidential funds?
Hindi po. Hindi po kasi nila in-specify na the payments for yung tables and chairs and desktop computers were used for confidential operations po. Wala po silang nasubmit na any explanation dun sa response po nila.
Ano mga kailangan isubmit na dokumento?
Sales invoice or official receipts po.
Okay. Sino-sino ang mga persons na responsible or accountable dyan sa pinakita mo?
First po, the head of agency, Vice President Sara Duterte, the Special Disbursing Officer, si Ms. Gina Acosta, at ang Chief Accountant po na si Ms. Julieta Villa del Rey.
Bakit sila accountable?
Unang-una po, yung si Vice President Sara Duterte po, siya po ang nag-approve ng transaction and including the utilization of the cash advance.
You're still watching the big story on One News. The 2027 National Expenditure Program sets aside 107.4 billion pesos for flood control projects, according to Acting Budget Secretary Kim Robert De Leon. De Leon assures safeguards will be put in place against anomalies. This year, the national budget does not have allocations for local flood control projects as a result of the infrastructure scam. The DBM promises no repeat of the irregularities this time around.
Hindi naman din po natin po pwedeng pabayaan yung mga naumpisahan na ng mga flood control projects at mas hindi po magiging maayos yung epekto kung mananatiling nakatiwangwang yung mga naumpisahan ng mga flood control projects. Mga flood control projects po ay hindi naman lahat one-off expenditure. Kaakibat din po nito yung mga operating requirements. Dahil kasama po sa mga flood control project, including yung mga pumping station, facilities na kailangan mong i-sustain year on year.
The 107.4 billion peso proposal will be distributed among different agencies, including 19.6 billion for ongoing foreign-assisted projects. as well as 3.4 billion under the MMDA for operations and maintenance of existing structures. The DBM laid out how it plans to ensure the projects are properly implemented and accounted for.
Mas matindi po yung vetting na ginawa namin lalo dito sa mga flood control projects dahil siniguro natin na properly identified, properly tagged ang location ng mga projects, duly supported ngayon pa lang ng actual program of works ang mga ito upang masiguro natin na hindi ito magiging mga ghost flood control projects.
Under the proposed 2027 budget, DPWH ranks second to DepEd among agencies with the largest allocations, with a proposed budget of 644 billion pesos. And meantime, here are the other stories making headlines this Tuesday from mobile journalist Daniel Dayaw.
Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong is facing questions over claims that some lawmakers linked to infrastructure corruption have returned to their pork barrel practices. Magalong also questioned the glacial pace of the flood control probe, but Palace Press Officer Claire Castro turned the tables on the mayor and his own investigation into rock netting projects in Benguet.
So, sino po ba kaya ang mas mabagal? Kung merong kakayanang mamintas at magturo, dapat ay may kakayanan din kumilos para makatulong sa gobyerno at hindi puro pamimintas lang ang alam at pamilya.
House Prosecutor Terry Ridon also slammed Magalong, daring the local government official to name lawmakers who had questionable budget insertions. The Labor Department has fined Tab Baldwin and Ateneo de Manila University over employment rule violations involving foreign nationals. Dole ordered their assigned coach 4.9 million pesos each for failing to secure an alien employment permit and certificate of exemption. Ateneo was slapped with 4.9 million pesos in fines for employing Baldwin. In June, Baldwin believed his permanent resident status was sufficient, while Ateneo maintained he was only a consultant. Lieutenant General Donald Gumiran has formally assumed command of the Philippine Army. He succeeds General Antonio Navarrete, now Armed Forces Chief. Gumiran vows that readiness, transformation, nation building, and stewardship will guide his leadership. Meanwhile, Health Secretary Edwin Mercado and PhilHealth President and CEO Beverly Ho have also taken their oaths of office in Malacanang. That's a day after their appointments were announced. Mercado replaces Dr. Brix Pujalte, while Ho takes over Mercado as State Health Insurer Lead. And Pag-ibig Fund posted a record 41.35 billion peso net income in the first half of 2026. That's up to 24% from a year ago, supported by earnings from housings and short-term loans, higher investment income, and cost management. The state-run housing fund said the record result came even after it cut housing loan rates and raised the maximum housing loan amount to 10 million pesos. Kapatid Mobile journalist Daniel Dayaw, we are One News.
On a much lighter note, our big picture tonight takes us on a trip down memory lane through some of the most memorable Filipino movies. The book Cine, Film, Pelikula features more than 100 films, including the more recent On the Job, as well as Jaguar, starring Ami Austria and Philip Salvador. Jaguar was the first Filipino film to compete at the Cannes Film Festival in the 1980s. Curated by showbiz editor Joan Maglipon with film scholar Joel David, the book was launched in Mandaluyong, bringing together actors, directors, and producers. Congratulations to Joan Maglipon. And those are the big stories this Tuesday, August 11. I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. Kapatid, we are One News, your side all the time. Good night.